What's up, everybody? It's me, Melonie Mac here, back with another video, and this is one that I'm a little more opinionated on. Now, I know in some of my videos I kind of take a neutral stance depending on if I need more information on something, or, if I'm just not totally sure about it, I'll usually take a neutral stance. But in this case, I have a strong opinion, so buckle up and get ready for it. Now, there is a custom figure artist, so like action figures. He makes custom figures and he's been doing this for a long time. And I followed him over a year ago when I saw that he made a Top Cow version of Lara Croft, like repurposed a figure and made, in Top Cow, the actual comic book version. We haven't seen actual figures of her. So I followed him then. And I've been following him ever since, and his work is absolutely phenomenal. He not only does repaints, but he does the sculpting too as well. And he just really recreates a lot of action figures from the ground up. He can take a character that was initially like April O'Neil or something and transform her into Lara Croft, for example, depending on the figure and all that. So he can absolutely not only just revamp and retouch a figure, which he does sometimes, but he can transform them into completely different characters and make them work as well. Now, I have an issue because I log on Instagram today. I just scroll down my feed as usual, just see what everybody's up to, and I see this post. Hold on, I shared it on my Twitter, so I'm just gonna pull that up. So here's some screenshots that I took. And he said, apparently work has a problem with me making my custom figures, so I will not be posting anything for a while. They are killing my passion. And this absolutely devastates me. I think that as a creative, myself, and I love to draw and I love to make videos, I love to stream and stuff like that. I can't imagine having that taken away from me from an employer and not being able to do that and chase my passions and my things that I love and enjoy to do in my own free time. And I can't imagine just not being able to do that in fear of losing my job and my income. You know what I mean? So it sucks. Now, let me show you some of the work that he's made. This is the Top Cow Lara Croft figure that is just stunning. It's just perfect. And he's done, here's April O'Neil. This one he revamped, remodeled it, sculpted it, painted it, all that good stuff. And Sonya Blade right there. So, I mean, he's clearly extremely talented. And here's the thing. After doing more digging in the comments and stuff like that, I realized he works at Square Enix. And I was shook about that because, obviously, I love Square Enix. I love a lot of their games. I've been a fan of Square Enix games since forever. And so, yeah, it's disappointing to see that. But at the same time, I feel like this is wrong. And I can still support a company and like their games and find this wrong. And that's exactly the case here. Now, obviously, this doesn't reflect the entire company. So I think that whoever is responsible for it is wrong. And whether that's, if anybody narked on him or whoever it was in the HR department that gave him this ultimatum, that's wrong. And they need to check themselves on that. Like, what the heck? So, and I know in the comments and stuff, people are saying like, oh, what if he's actually doing this on the job or something like that? And I'm just trying to wrap my head around legit reasons why it would be okay to tell him he has to stop this. And really, the only, I have 1.5 reasons that I think could be okay. The one reason being if he was making these on company time, using company materials, all that kind of stuff. So, while he's at the job, while he's supposed to be working, he's just farting around sculpting his figures. Obviously, that would be a worthy reason. But even then, they shouldn't tell him he's not allowed to create his figures at all. They should tell him, hey, don't do this on company time. We ain't paying you to doodle off and make your own figures. You know what I mean? So that would be a valid reason. And then the other half reason that I have, and not even full reason, would have to be if he were selling them. And I'm not even totally convinced even on that. I think that if it were Square Enix properties, which he does do some Square Enix properties, then yeah, you know, I could understand that. But mostly he does other stuff. But even then, he doesn't even sell them, so that's kind of out of the equation here. So to my knowledge, he does not do this on company time. This is all creations he makes on his free time. And B, he definitely isn't selling them, because whenever I saw that Top Cow figure, I reached out to him and asked him if I could buy it, and he said no, that he doesn't sell them. So I just don't understand the problem. And honestly, let me just pull up his whole Instagram, because I just want to show you just how incredible his creations are. I mean, just absolutely stunning. He just sculpts these, he paints them, they're just gorgeous. And I mean, look at that, just completely transforms them. And you know, to me, it's just a shame. It's a huge shame, because this is his passion. And I feel like telling somebody that they can't do this is the equivalent of saying that any employee can't make fan art, which is absurd. I know tons of employees at game companies who make fan art of either the properties that are at the companies they're working for or other games. I mean, that's kind of the appeal of hiring people who are gamers and who love video games, is that their passion, or even comics. I mean, look at this. Stunning. And like, that's kind of the appeal of it, is that you're hiring people who are passionate about, you know, gaming, nerddom, comics, all that stuff. And so, of course, especially with creatives, they're going to want to create their own stuff and their own fan arts and their own fan works. This is fan art. 100%. And to me, telling somebody that they can't make fan art is wrong. And I just think about any experiences I have had with any company that I've worked for or been affiliated with, you know, currently with GameStop, since I host for GameStop TV. And I think the equivalent of that would be for them to tell me, okay, you can't make videos on YouTube or streams talking about games where you're having honest opinions, or like, you know, because sometimes I'll criticize a game if I don't like it, or if there's something about a game I don't like, I will share my honest opinions. Hey, I don't like this Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't like the combat as much as turn-based combat, stuff like that. Or maybe I'm a little bored with XYZ game, or maybe this game isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. All that stuff. Like, I'm able to be honest on my own social media. And obviously, while I'm at the job, I'm professional, I do what I do, I am talking about facts about the games. And that's the thing that I like about GSTV as well, is that I'm never told that I have to say something good about a game if I genuinely either don't like it or have no interest in it. In fact, I'm discouraged from saying I like something I don't. They want people to be genuine who are hosting, representing the company. So in that case, you know, I'll drop some facts about the game that I may not particularly be interested in, but I'm not going to say, oh, I love this game, I can't wait to play it, when I obviously am not. Now, on my own personal feeds, my own personal stuff, yeah, I can just rip on a game if I want, and I like that I have that freedom. Or even in the past, I used to be a frag doll for Ubisoft, and I was still allowed to stream other games. I was still allowed to talk about other games I liked. I was still allowed to draw fan art from other games. And I can't imagine not being able to do that. So to me, in this case, Zelu is not allowed to create fan art. And honestly, shame on who is responsible for this and put him in this position. And in my opinion, if they don't correct this, and that's the thing, is I was even apprehensive about making this video because I didn't want to I didn't want to hurt him and make it where he loses his job, for example. But I feel like if that were to happen, that would just make them look worse. So I can't imagine them doing that. That would be absurd. But at any rate, I just felt like this is something that deserved to be talked about and discussed because it's a big problem. And honestly, if they don't correct this, if they don't allow him to do fan arts again, I think, and this is what I said in his comments, I think he needs to look for another job because this is absolutely ludicrous. People should not have to live, eat, breathe, sleep their job if they don't want to. And most people have their own lives outside of their jobs, even if it's a dream job, even if it's a fun job. They still have their own lives at home. They still have other games they want to play, comics they want to read, like things they want to draw or, you know, make music about, or in this case, make action figures about. And he can't even share that? It's just absurd to me. So either look for another job, or in my opinion, I think he could sell these. And I know that he wasn't doing that before, but he could. I feel like he could get at least $500 a pop for some of these. I don't know how much time goes into this because I do like art. I love to draw, but I have never done anything like this where it's like sculpting, painting. So I'm sure it takes a ton of work and I'm sure it takes a ton of time. But at any rate, like I said, I feel like he could get minimum of $500 a piece for these. And obviously, if it's taking him, you know, depending on how much time and resources he's using, it's taking him, he should be charging according to that. So if it's a lot more time than I would assume, then yeah, more than that. And I see big collectors and fans of said properties and characters, you know, buying them. I could easily see that because he just has an unreal amount of talent. I mean, heck, goodness. Like, seriously, where can you find these kind of figures? Not everywhere. I mean, goodness. So, yeah, I think that's my conclusion here is I hope Zelu can either find a job that will support him and his hobbies that he does outside of that, or I hope that an actual figure company would hire him to oversee and create these masterpieces and run production of them, or however that all goes. Or, you know, that he goes full freelance and is able to support himself and have a lucrative career in repurposing figures. But knowing that he might get a takedown notice for something that's, I don't know, you just never know. It's messed up. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Good, bad, whatever it may be, agree, disagree, I will respect you, and I hope you respect me too. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you next time. Peace.